Hey, all right, so we're here and we're gonna talk about a little bit with house training and some tips. Adopters, that's one of the biggest things that they always ask about. How do I get my dog house trained? And sometimes they adopt older dogs from us. So this is Arabella. She's a little bit nervous, so she's gonna hang out with us when we do the video, but she's a little bit older, at about 1 year old, and then we have some other ones that are even older than that. So the good thing about them being older is it's actually easier to house train them because all they need is a schedule. So take them out every hour on the hour, and then kind of push it back a little bit to every 2 hours, and kind of go from there. And they do pretty well. And once they get a routine of like, okay, we wake up, we go outside, we come in and we eat breakfast, and we go back outside, and they keep going back and forth, they actually pick it up pretty well. If you do catch them in an accident, a stern no, and then take them immediately outside. Even when you take them outside, if they don't go to the bathroom outside because they're nervous because they got in trouble, that's fine, because they'll start to associate no in the house. Now I'll take you outside, yes, that's where I want you to go. And they'll pick that up pretty quickly. So adults typically aren't that bad as long as you start that routine. And like I said, when you catch them having an accident, it's a stern no, and then we go outside. And then after, maybe 30 minutes after the accident, if they didn't go outside the first time, take them back out again and see, and keep going from there. Yeah.
Would you recommend giving treats when they go outside?
Absolutely. You can totally give treats when they go to the bathroom outside. The trick is, though, is that you don't want to show them the treat. So a lot of people do where they go outside, if they go to the bathroom outside, then when they come in, they can get a treat. You can do that. Just kind of pay attention to your dog. Some dogs then think that every time you come inside you get a treat, whether you went to the bathroom or not. Some people just put them in their pocket and then they go outside, wait for their dog to go to the bathroom, and then go ahead and give them the treat. Either one. But honestly, most adult dogs don't need treats to be trained, because they naturally don't want to go to the bathroom where they sleep and eat and drink and things like that. So as long as you make them, have them understand that like the house is where all of that happens, then they're not going to want to naturally go to the bathroom. Now puppies. So puppies are a little bit different. So the big thing that people have to remember about puppies is their bladder is small. So you can't expect an 8-week-old puppy to go 6 hours without an accident. It's just not going to happen. Their bladders are too small. They literally just can't hold that much pee and stuff. So a lot of people do puppy pads when they're younger, and if they have to go to work and they have to be alone that long, because I get it, I have a job as well, and so, I can't come home every hour and let the dog out. But when you are home, letting it out every hour, going outside, again, if you go outside every hour and they don't go to the bathroom every hour, that's okay, because you're giving them the opportunity to go outside and go to the bathroom. And when they do go to the bathroom outside, lots of praise, you can introduce treats. I personally don't use treats with house training, because that's just not my preference, but I know other people who do. You want a treat? Oh, you so smart. Good girl. But other people do, and that's fine. Just see how your dog responds. If it responds well to praise, then just praise it for going to the bathroom outside. And lots of puppies do respond really well to praise. So if you go like, oh my gosh, you're so good, thanks for going outside, and then they're like, oh yes, that was fun. And then again, same thing with them. When they have an accident inside, stern no, take them outside. They may or may not finish outside, that's okay. Try again. Now, so we also get some puppies or some older dogs too, they just don't get it. Okay, they just do not understand like this whole going outside business. So you come home from work, they're really excited to see you, and you go outside and they do nothing. And then you come back in, and 10 minutes after being inside, they, have an accident in the house. You're like, really? So, what you do with that is, when they go outside, ignore them, so when they're outside and you're waiting for them to go to the bathroom, it is not playtime, it is not getting petted time, things like that. Don't look at them, don't talk to them, don't touch them, okay? Give them time to go to the bathroom. If they still don't go to the bathroom and you know that they need to go to the bathroom, then they go inside into their crate, okay? Wait 10 minutes, take them back out again. Okay, and again, don't talk to them, don't look at them, don't touch them, and you wait for them to go to the bathroom. And then if they still don't do it, then they go back into the crate, and you keep taking them out, back and forth. And then they'll eventually understand that, okay, so I either go to the bathroom outside, or I go into my crate. If I don't want to be in my crate, and I want to be my person, and I want to get attention, then I go to the bathroom outside. And they'll start to pick that up, and that actually, we typically have really good success with. typically only takes a couple of days for them to start to understand that. Some need a little bit longer, and it takes them, a week or two. But most dogs pick it up within a couple weeks. Now, if your puppy is having lots and lots of accidents, maybe you're not taking them outside as much, or maybe you're not giving them enough time outside. And again, when it's bathroom time outside, we're not playing. And that's what a lot of people, that's one of the mistakes they make is they take them outside and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so cute, let's play with this ball. Well, like, puppies are very ADD and they forget to go to the bathroom. So if you don't, give them that time and go, I'm not talking to you, I'm not touching you, I'm not playing with you. And then they'll be like, oh wait, I think I have to pee, and then they'll go. They struggle a little bit. So you just have to kind of make it more of a, this is what we're doing, it's time to do this, and stuff. And if you consistently go with those two, kind of make sure you're on a schedule, make sure the length of time that they're away is appropriate. And again, if it's not, then just expect to come home to an accident. If you have to work, like I said, there are people that do, and that's fine. And you can't come home every, so many hours, and that's okay. Lay down a puppy pad and just expect to be able to clean it up. But do not punish your dog for having an accident. Oh, is that book going? Yeah. Do not punish your dog for having an accident when you're not there. They typically don't understand what you're trying to do. They don't get the whole situation. Now, some dogs that have already been house trained, you come home and they give you that look, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's different. But when you're house training a dog, putting them, getting mad at them and, rubbing their face in it or whatever, they do not understand. They understand that you're upset. And that's where you get the, I'm so sorry look, but they actually don't understand what they did wrong. So you just have to suck it up, clean it up, and go again.
Now, let's just, also be aware that a shelter may adopt your dog, and you may ask the question, is it house trained? Which is a logical, good question. And the shelter may be able to tell you, yes, we think it's house trained, but you should always remember that a dog is coming into a new situation in a new place, and it may have an accident. It's going to have an accident.
Yeah.
You just got to be prepared for it.
It's very rare for them to not have an accident going into someone's house. Even if we're like, no, this dog is house trained. Or rescues who have fosters. They're like, yeah, they're house trained. And then you get them and they're like, oh, they have an accident. Yeah, they do, because it's a brand new place and it's super nerve-wracking and all this other stuff. And so, that's just very, that's just gonna happen. It's kind of like really young kids who accidentally wet the bed, like when they get really scared or things like that. Like it's just gonna happen. So again, we're not shoving the dog's face in the accident. We're not getting really loud. It's just a start. No, don't do that. And then we're going outside. So that way, and sometimes it's just, and like I said, if it's not in the act, if you don't catch them going to the bathroom in your house, then you just have to clean it up and be like, all right, I need to adjust my timetable. I need to, instead of 2 hours, then maybe you need every hour and a half to go outside. And pay attention to meals. Some dogs, 30 minutes after a meal need to go to the bathroom. Some dogs, 10 minutes after a meal need to go to the bathroom, and some dogs an hour after they have a meal. So just, kind of play around with the time and just be patient. But typically, honestly, in about 2 weeks, you should see some type of routine forming, with your dog and stuff like that. If not, then you might need to actually document it, write it down. This is the time I took out the dog and this is what they did. And kind of see if you can find that pattern that they have. Or, this is the time that they had this accident in my house. And you're like, okay, now I see kind of what it is. And whatnot.
Can you give a quick tip on how to deal with marking in the house?
Yeah, so marking is one of the joys of certain male dogs. Not all male dogs mark, so that is important. A lot of people have that myth. They're like, oh, all male dogs mark. They don't. It depends on when they were neutered and their personality and all kinds of other stuff with the girl. So if you have a puppy, get them neutered younger. So most vets will neuter your puppy at 6 months old. So I recommend getting your pet neutered at 6 months old because that's going to help cut down on those marking, behaviors and things like that. But if you adopt an older dog that wasn't neutered and has dealt with marking, there are lots of different products that go into that. Also making sure that you are on that routine, they are actually going to the bathroom outside, and watch, are they marking everything outside and they're not fully emptying their bladder, or are they actually going to the bathroom outside and they're marking because you're not paying attention to them? Also, though, is if they're marking inside because it's part of a dominance behavior and display. Oddly enough, this is gonna sound weird. Oddly enough, obedience training actually helps with that because it helps them understand the relationship between you and them, and that you're the one that's the leader and that's doing this, that they don't need to be in that position, and things like that. And that'll help tone that down. As well as crate training also helps. If your dog is not, if you're not out with your dog, and especially if they're marking, your dog needs to be in the crate, and going from there. You can also, I don't want to say limit the water supply, but regulate the water supply. So if you're going to, if you have a dog and you put them in the crate and they're marking in the crate, okay, well then they don't get water in the crate. And that's okay. Dogs don't need to drink water all the time. They will drink water when they're thirsty, but if they're marking, they're gonna be drinking water so they can mark. So, maybe you have to leave that out, and kind of go with it from there. But yeah, obedience training, oddly, I know it sounds weird, but can actually help with behavioral marking. And that's when, we like to say he's really just a jerk. But it's not that he's a jerk, it's that he thinks he needs to be in control and, everything is mine, blah, blah. But when you start doing that leash training, oh goodness. The leash training and the behavior, obedience training, learning to sit and stay and crate on command and different things like that, that actually helps calm them down. There are also different products that you can get, sprays and stuff that you can put that they don't like the smell of, so it helps stop them marking. And if you continue to have an issue even after you've tried obedience training and tried all these tips, then that's what trainers are for. Contact one in your area. Hi, friend. And different things like that, and see what their tips are, and try something else. It's a lot of trial and error, but most dogs respond to most of these tips within a couple weeks.